Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank it with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
101 West, you should have seen my building. 139 Park, started off as children. Grew up with Big L and the dude supposedly killed him. A week before that, though, Big L had tried to kill him. What was he to do? Please don't get in your feelings. When the time's right, I will tell you about the villains. And everybody dead, so it ain't about squealing. Weapons, we can see them.
You know what I'm saying? I got signed in 92. You know, long time ago.
Nah, it's really not that long for me. But I know what you're saying. In hip hop, it was like dog years.
No doubt, you know what I'm saying? I got on, you know what I'm saying, One Man Finesse. He put me on a single. You know what I'm saying? And Showing AG threw me on their album.
That's right.
You know, I was winning rap contests like it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, came out with the single, put it on with Kid Capri. Then I dropped MVP. And the album, you know what I'm saying, did real well. And
that's right.
Took it from there. Did a lot of guest appearances here, there, yeah. So. Okay.
Let's bring it around to the present.
Yeah,
to the future.
And one more thing on the album, you know what I'm saying, featured Herb McGruff, Cam, you know what I'm saying, my man right there, Party Yachty, he was on there, Finesse, you know, Jay-Z, a lot of cats was on that first album, you know what I mean?
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to NYC with it. Uptown. Harlem. 139th and Lenox to be exact. The danger zone. Y'all niggas meet us up there. Y'all better be strapped up. Have a vest or something. Shit get wicked around here. Now today, we are going to be covering a guy by the name of Gerald G. Love Woodley. Now, for those of you not familiar with 139th Street in Lenox, y'all might be familiar with Cameron. A lot of top Harlem acts done passed through these blocks, but one of the brightest stars to pass through is going to be a guy by the name of Big L, or Lamont Coleman. And you really can't explain the story of Gerald Woodley, especially on a mob tie situation, if you don't talk about the situation with Big L. Now, this is a story that I can speak to almost firsthand because I really felt like partly I was in that era. And I do remember Big L's presence. A lot of people not familiar with the channel probably won't. And just a little bit about him. He was somewhat called like a lyrical master or a mastermind. I remember one time hearing Nas describe Apollo Theater performance that Big L had that he heard back on tape. And he said he was literally scared and was saying that if that was what he had to compete with, it was kind of scary. So that kind of just put it in perspective. And this was in the mid to late 90s. Now, they're going to say he sharpened his skills as far as rapping because he was a extreme lyricist, if I had to kind of up in the echelons with $500,000. Y'all get in the comment box, name the top lyricists. Y'all know, putting them words together. But he was part of the DITC crew, which was a hip-hop crew in the mid to late 90s. It was stood for Digging in the Crates, and a few members: Fat Joe, Diamond D, Lord Finesse, Showbiz, and AG. A few of New York City's top underground hip-hop artists at that time. Now, he would go on and sign with Columbia Records, which they signed him in 1992. He released his solo album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. And it pretty much, with that label, it kind of stops there because they said that he was dropped because of lack of sales. But if anybody kind of remembers, he kind of attributed that to the party era going on. That's when Mace was really big. That's when everybody was doing the kind of poppy singles. Some people call it the bling era because it seemed like everybody was going platinum. Everybody was having platinum. Now, at the times of his death, they said that he was recording his follow-up album and reportedly in talks with Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records. Now, he would end up being killed in February of 1999 at the age of 24. And I want to say that he was shot 9 times in the head and in the chest, a few blocks from where he grew up. Now, his murder was investigated for, I want to say, about 4 months. And then 4 months later, about, I want to say on May 13th, they would arrest the guy. And the guy that they would arrest would be a childhood friend of Big L and his brothers. Would be a guy by the name of Gerald Woodley, and he would be arrested in the Bronx. Now, the thing about Woodley, Lieutenant at the time, Ellen Congela, would go on to say that it's a good possibility that Big L's murder was in retaliation for something that Big L's brother did, or Woodley believed that his brother was to have done. Now, the interesting fact about this is Big L's he has 2 older brothers, and both of them were in jail at the time of this. But what is not widely known was that Gerald Woodley and Big L's older brother, Donald, was arrested previously in the year. So it was a lot of speculation. And me being there firsthand, I can remember they were saying how, Big L was mistaken for his brother. But now that the truth comes out that both of the brothers was in jail, that makes that possibility very, very far-fetched. And it makes what the NYPD was saying a little bit more valid. Now, police would arrest Woodley. And like I said, he grew up with Big L and his 2 brothers. Now, at the time of his arrest, Woodley was facing federal drug charges. Now, he had been arrested, like I said, early in the year with Big L's brother, and the Daily News would report that Woodley had a beef with one of the brothers and instead took it out on Coleman, instead of it being a mistaken identity situation. Now, neighborhood speculation would provide many other rumors. Like I said, it was just rampant with what happened and why that happened. But the murder pretty much went unsolved because Woodley would be released, and that would be the 3rd time that he was released for a murder. So he was arrested for and questioned for a murder in 1990, and that was dropped. He was also arrested for a murder in 1996 as well, as that was dropped. Now, in December of 1999, Woodley would go on to plead guilty to 1 count of distribution and possession with the intent to distribute cocaine base, and he would end up serving a 50-month sentence in federal prison. And he would eventually be released, only to be murdered more than a decade after Big L was killed. And a lot of people said that that was in retaliation. According to the Time magazine, he was pretty much lured from his apartment from someone he knew, as well as New York Amsterdam News. They're going to say that he was lured from his building by somebody that he knew, and once he was downstairs, he was ambushed and shot in the head and the back. He was rushed to nearby Harlem Hospital, where he was deceased. So that was the end of kind of almost something that would be considered retaliatory, because Big L's brother Leroy would, and this is the brother that was not mentioned. So he had a brother, Donald, that was arrested with G Love, and now this is the other brother. So when he was released from jail, because both of them were serving time when Big L was killed, he was actually murdered, and they would go on to say that he was killed while trying to find out what happened to his younger brother. So this is just a crazy story in itself. It's one that probably should have been covered, and I'm surprised why it's not talked about as much, because Big L was pretty much one of the biggest stars. It was some people that would say that he was, if not as big, they would probably say he was bigger than Jay-Z at this time, just on his lyrical prowess. So if any of y'all familiar with Big L or remember the Big L era, y'all get in the comment box. Y'all speak some validity. Some people gonna think I'm wilding with this stuff. I know he had a single. I want to say his biggest single was Ebonics. It was produced by Ron Browse. He was working with a lot of the top producers and a lot of top influencers in the game. I wonder where he would be right now today. Y'all get in the comment box, let it be known. Cam is still active. We just seen the Dipset Locks versus battle. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And y'all make sure y'all hit the bell under this to subscribe. Y'all get in the comment box below. Y'all tag me in the pictures on Instagram. Y'all let me know who we need to cover, where we need to go. We trying to tap in everywhere, hit every city, hit every gangster. And y'all know what it is. It's the Mobb. Mobb. Ties.